YouTube, and welcome back to my channel, Life of Deja. So today we are going to be doing a quick, hopefully quick life update. It's been a minute. We're now at the end of November 2023. My last life update was filmed like the end of October 2022. I didn't upload it until end of February, but it was actually filmed the end of October 2022, and so much has happened since then. So much has happened even since I posted the video. Ups, downs, good, bad. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So first off, if you haven't seen my life update that I posted in February, I'll link it up above. Be sure to check it out. You definitely may want to watch that one first and then come back to this one, because I'm kind of going to pick up where that one left off. I have a little bit of notes here, but yeah, so I would definitely recommend watching that life update first and then coming back and watching this video, so you can kind of understand how the story started and where it is now. And then also be sure to like this video, comment down below what you thought of this video, and come on and subscribe to the girl. We are a growing channel. We are still fairly new, so come on over and subscribe. I'd love to have you part of my channel, my team, my people, my family, you know. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and dive into it, because we have couple months to catch up on. And I may change my position a few times. I don't know. I don't know how I'm feeling. We're gonna see. But first, I had to go back, and let me just say this. I had to start off by going back to watch the last life update video, just to kind of see everything that I remember, like everything I was going through, everything I talked about. At that time of that video, I had just moved to Texas, just newly in my place. Had not even been in Texas for a month yet. A lot of ups and downs in that month, and you know, there I was filming a video, had got a lot of great news. I was having a high moment, but girl, we went through some lows not too long after that. So let's go ahead and kind of jump into that. So I'm going to be looking down quite a bit at my little notes that I got here. But pretty much my whole journey started about a little over a year ago, September 2022. My journey of stepping out on faith is kind of when that all started. Just a quick summary. I moved to Texas. I quit my job, moved to Texas with no job, no plan, just faith. Went through some hurdles, you know, found a job, found a place after some struggles. I was not working for like the first month and a half, almost 2 months that I lived in Texas. I did not have a job. I did not have any income. I actually did not get any income until the end of November. So literally 2 whole months with, you know, no like job or income. But yeah, I did start a job like end of November 2022. So of course then I started getting money. But before that, you know, I had some issues with my last paycheck and my last job. October, November, December. October was all right, but November, December, the struggle was real. The struggle was real as far as paying bills, because again, like I had no income. Luckily, my apartment that I had moved into at the time, they had a wonderful special where it was half off rent, and that was much easier to obtain than obtaining the full, you know, month of rent. But I will say other bills, unfortunately, fell behind because I had to prioritize rent over other stuff. So credit definitely took some hits. To be transparent, car almost got repossessed. I was praying on the daily, like, Lord, don't let them take the whip. I don't know what I'm gonna do without it. Like, please don't let my car get taken. A lot of stuff was happening then. I ended up having to take out a loan just to kind of have stuff get paid and to kind of try to get myself better and in a better situation. Oh, y'all, it was a lot. I was trying to that first paycheck at the end of November, I think it was actually probably like November 28th, November 30th was the first paycheck. That paycheck had a lot of things that it needed to do, but it couldn't do it all. Luckily, I was able to get my deposit back from my prior complex in Virginia. I was able to get my 401k cashed out from my prior job. I was able to kind of have those things to kind of help me through October and November and some of December, and then my income started to flow in December. But still, we pretty much went 2 good months of struggle of not having it to pay certain things, to the point where it put me in a big hole, a deep hole that was very, very hard to get out of. Like, I'm still now working myself out of the hole that I created this time last year. And I feel like I kind of just jumped into the story, but we'll keep moving in, we'll keep going. I'm really kind of banking on you guys going back and watching that first life update so that you understand where we're starting from now. Because I feel like it'll be redundant to kind of go through that whole thing in this one again. So make sure you watch that one first. But yeah, so that's kind of where we left off. Again, that life update was filmed in October 2022, and we are now in November 2023, so a whole year later. So yeah, that's kind of what happened in November. Now we kind of in December. I had started the job, it was okay. I had actually started that part-time job I told you about. I got it. I worked it for like a weekend. It was a retail part-time job. I went for like 2 days, and on the 3rd day, I rested. I did not go. That was the first time I ever did a no call, no show for a job. I didn't even have a heart to tell the people that I was not coming back. I just was like, but when I got that first check, I was like, you should have stuck this out a little bit longer. Like, this check is nice. Like, you should have held in there. This little bit of change is nice. But yeah, no, I couldn't do it. And I was thankful that I was in a position I didn't have to force myself to do it. But I started that job that I had told y'all about, that came with a sign-on bonus. Started at like mid-November. It was a decent job. Wasn't really feeling it, but I was trying to push through. It had a lot of perks. I had a lot of bonus benefits. The coworkers that I was working with were great, but it was definitely a trying position because me and my coworkers that were hired with me were guinea pigs. We were a group of people that, you know, they hired, but for the position that we were hired for is an internal position. You normally have to work for the company for like 3 years, 2 to 3 years before you can get to the position that they hired us in. So they were trying to test the waters and see if they could hire externally for that position, and the answer was no. The answer was no. The answer was no. So many people left before, like half of us was gone before any of us had even hit the 6 months. Like, that's how hard it was. Like, people expected you to know all of this stuff and have all of this experience within the company and know how the company does things. And it's like, well, I'm an external hire. I know that technically in this position I'm supposed to have like 2 to 3 years of tenure, but I don't. And you kind of got to give me some grace, but they was not trying to give no grace. But anyway, it was a decent job. The pay was okay. It was not enough. It was not enough. So come January, I was still doing okay. I had started posting on YouTube, getting consistent. February, I was doing all right. But in February 2023, my mental health definitely started to take a decline. I thought that the struggles I was going through in October of 2022 was like my period of sadness and depression, but baby, she ain't had nothing on February, March of 2023. Those 2 months right there, even part of even some of April, those months right there, those 3 months was like, honestly, I can probably say the hardest 3 months of my life. I was not in a good place. I was stressing, I was struggling, I was sad, I was depressed. I didn't want to leave the house. I couldn't afford to leave the house. It just was so much stuff going on in that time. Like, bills were overwhelming. I had no family out here, no friends out here. I talked to my friends often on the phone. I talked to my family often on the phone, but still, like, I didn't have them here. And then I was kind of getting pressured by friends and family to, like, leave the house, get out the house, because it's like they see you, they see that you're depressed, they see that you're not okay, and they're like trying to encourage you, like, it's gonna be okay, just I think it would be good and healthy for you to get out the house and try to do this and try to do that. And because of all the stress that I was having, one of my biggest burdens at the time was financial stress, because again, I got this job and I was making more money than I was making in Virginia, but my bills here also increased because I had just spent a lot of money moving to Texas. I had just spent a lot of money trying to make it the last 3 months of the year. I had just spent a lot of money taking out loans and stuff like that, trying to get my car out of repossession status and get it in a current active status, so I didn't have to worry about that. I just spent a lot of money just trying to, and now I accrued all of these bills from the last 3 months. Now the money that I'm making extra is not enough money to take care of all these extra expenses that I've accrued over the last like 3 months that I moved to Texas. So it was a lot. I just had a lot of stress on me. People were like, go outside, get outside, try to do this, try to do that. Look, I'm sending you these events. Check out these restaurants. And I'm like, I appreciate you. I appreciate you seeing me struggle. I appreciate you, you know, trying to encourage me, telling me to get out the house, and it would probably do me some good. And I think it would have, but at that time, I kind of didn't want to hear it because I also knew that leaving the house required me to have money. I work remotely, so I didn't need to worry about gas. The gas that I had in my car, I did not need to worry. I didn't want to have to think about when I was going to have enough money to put more gas in my car. I didn't want to have to worry about, oh, you want me to go, I should go to this event, or I should go to this restaurant, or I should go to this place. I got to pay for parking. I don't have money for parking. I gotta pay for food at the restaurant. I gotta pay for tips. I gotta, all these different things. And it's like, okay, well, maybe I can go somewhere free, like the park, or blah, 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 blah. The free park that I wanted to go to, the best park, I tried to look around my place. There was none. The best park was gonna be like an hour away, which is an hour away of gas and an hour away of gas back. And it's like, I went to the park maybe like once or twice. I sat out there. It was nice. I had a good time, but it just was so far away that it wasn't feasible for me to try to do it as often as I honestly needed to. I tried to go to the museum because the museum is free, and I tried to find and do free stuff, but again, it was all on the other side of town, and I needed to have gas to get on the other side of town. Sometimes I needed to have money to pay for parking, so it just wasn't okay. So I associated pretty much leaving a house with a dollar sign. And that was okay because leaving the house is a dollar sign. But it just, my mental health took a rapid decline. That was definitely depression for me. Like, I was sad. When people were like, how are you? Instant tears well up. Are you okay? Instant tears well up, like instant sadness, instant depression. I was still trying to stay active in my word. I wasn't doing my devotionals often. I wasn't keeping up consistently with my word as often. I wasn't going to the Sunday services and sermons online as often as I was. I had slacked off for sure on reading my Bible and trying to stay true to God, which is crazy because I was trying to pray like I want to praise you and worship you when good things are good and when things are bad, not just when things are bad. But normally when things fall off good, I track off, I fall off with God, and then when things get bad, I kind of come back. So that's kind of what I was going through. I was really depressed. I was really worried. People was trying to be nice and encourage me, like, get out the house and trying to tell me it's gonna be okay, but it kind of just, for me, it made stuff worse because then it made me want to kind of fake to be okay, to kind of not tell people kind of everything that was going on, which is also already hard for me. But it just made me not want to say anything because I didn't want to cause other people worry, other people stress, other people to, you know, kind of be thinking about me and worrying about me. It's just like I'm weird, I don't know. So I didn't want to cause other people stress, so I tried to like lie and sugarcoat and say, you know, yeah, I left the house today, I did this, I did that, but I didn't. Or I would try to go to my pool occasionally, and it just wasn't a good time. anything I did to try to like perk myself up, nothing really was perking myself up. I was trying to vlog around that time, but I think I recorded like maybe 2 or 3 vlogs. I think I only showed maybe one of those vlogs, like the depression. I don't even think I actually showed that vlog. It just, you could tell I was depressed, you could tell I was sad, you could tell there was a lot of things going on. I may have had like a good day or so in there that I would record and show, but it just wasn't a good time. And then around that time, what actually helped me was my friends came out to see me, maybe at the end of February, I want to say. End of February, end of March, my friends came out to see me. It was so refreshing to see them. They definitely perked up my depression. They pulled me out of it. They put me in a better place. But, you know, it did set me back financially because we did go out and do things. And I definitely volunteered for that. Like I chose to say yes. I chose to invite them out to come see me. So it's like I set myself up for that, but also I knew that I needed that at that time. I needed to have the refresh of my friends and my family coming to see me, something like that. And that definitely did help me. After they left, I did fall back into depression for a little bit, but then I got a bit better. After they left, I started getting back into my word again. About late March, I started getting back into my word, trying to, you know, read my Bible, trying to pray, not do redundant prayers or rehearsed prayers where I kind of say the same thing and it's just like all of this stuff. But yeah, I tried to get back into it. I tried to get back into my devotional. I tried to talk and praise and worship and trust God, because guys, it was so bad to the point where I was literally like $500 short every month on bills. Every month I was at least $500 short. So with that being in mind, I tried to use my resources. Of course, I couldn't get any more loans. I did not want to get any more loans. None of my credit cards probably would have given me an increase. I didn't try. I didn't want to hurt myself more than I already was hurting as far as like credit and stuff like that goes. So what I did was I called one of my credit cards. I told them, you know, this is all I'm going through. This is everything that's happening in my life right now. And luckily they were able to set me up with, I think it was like a financial advisor. And I had to pretty much go through all of my bills, all of my expenses, to like all of my income, to kind of prove to them like I can afford to pay you guys. So they were able to give me a 3-month extension on my credit card. Once my car note got into a good standing after I took out that loan, I was able to get a 1-month extension on that. So that saved me a good chunk of money right there, and that helped me not feel affected as so much about that $500. I was still having to overdraft one of my accounts $500 every month, but I was still short $500 every month. Do you see how bad in the hole I was short? Like essentially in like January, February, I was short $1,000 every month. But getting the credit card extension, that rolled into effect in February. Getting the extension of my car note, that also rolled into effect in February. So February was a good month, which is why I was able to afford my friends to come down and spend time with me, because that saved me a good chunk of money right there, not having to pay those 2 bills for that month. And then March came, and then of course my car note's due again, but you know, I'm in a better standing. If I overdraft my account or keep overdrafting my account and paying it back and overdrafting and paying it back, then I can afford to be okay. But I knew come May, when my credit card was going to come back into the picture, I was going to essentially be short at least $500 every month, not including the $500 that I was overdrafting my account every month. So pretty much $1,000. I was gonna be short $1,000, but bare minimum I was gonna be short $500. The financial burdens were financial burdening. They were getting to me. They were stressful. I was stressed. I was worried. I was so much anxiety. Oh, it was a lot going on. I'm trying to follow my notes, but let's see. So yeah, so again, about that time when I noticed that, I'm like, you so far in this hole that you literally $1,000 short each month, or $500, you know, bare minimum short each month. You can't ask nobody to give you $500 each month. None of your family, none of your friends, none of your loved ones, even if you combine them all, that's a lot of money to owe somebody each and every month. You can't pay them back. So it's like, can I have this every month? Like, no. And it's like, you can't, like, I played the lottery a few times. I don't even want my money back. So it's like, I know that's probably not in the cards for me. I don't think I'm meant to just get the money. I think I have to work for it. I feel like that's what's on my life. So I just was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I don't know what's gonna work out. And I just felt so much so to the point where it's just like, again, how I felt in like October of 2022. It was like, you're in this position again. There's literally nothing you can do. You've exhausted every option. You got an extension on the accounts that you can get an extension on. You exhausted your 401k. You took the taxes out of your paycheck because you needed that extra money. Like, that's how deep bad down in the hole we were. We needed, I had to go tax exempt for a few months so that I could afford life. I could afford to stay consistent. The only thing that kept me good with groceries is that the job at the time, they gave me money each month towards groceries, so that helped me with that. But if I didn't have that, good Lord, I would have starved to death. But it's just like, there's nothing or no one around you. You thought that you had finally took that leap of faith and that you now were on that concrete step, but that step was wobbling. That step was a little, I was like, hold on now, Lord, how long I gotta be on this step? I don't know if it's gonna hold me much longer. I need to be getting to the next step, but the next step wasn't ready for me yet. But it was so much going on in my life at that time. That's why I fell off of posting my videos. I fell off of recording my videos. It just was, I wasn't in a good mental place to try to record it. I had too much stress going on. I had too much stuff going on. Too much anxiety, trying to fake the funk for family and friends. Sorry, the camera cuts off. I had to turn it back on, but yeah, I already had to fake the funk for family and friends. I didn't want to have to also fake it for a camera that I'm picking up voluntarily. That I was volunteering to pick up. Anyway. But yeah, it was so much going on in life. Like, life was not okay. Life was stressful. Life was sad. Very, very depressed. I would honestly say I was depressed. I was so bad. I was like, you really need to use your insurance and find a mental health therapist, a mental health specialist. You need to find someone to talk about your problems to, that you can try to unload your burdens onto. Because in my friend group, I am normally the person that listens. I love to listen. If you have a problem, I'm the one, like, please talk to me. Please unload yourself and release it out, because I know how good that feels. But I'm also the one that's like, I'm basically a hypocrite. I don't want, it's hard for me to come tell you what I'm going through, but I want you to do it to me. Do it tell me what you're going through. So it was a lot. It was so much going on. It was so much sadness. It was so much heartache. It was so much pain. It was so much confusion and chaos and doubt. But then I just got pushed to a spot of, you have no choice. You're back in the same situation, worse than the situation you were in a few months ago. you need to turn to God. You need to trust God. You need to trust that he's going to do something. You need to trust that he's going to make a way, because at the end of the day, who finna give you $500 this month? Who finna give you $500 next month? You honestly need $1,000. Who finna give you $1,000 next month? The month after that, the month after that, the month, like continuing. Who's finna give you that? You don't have anyone. You don't have a way. So you need to make a way. You need to ask God to make a way. You need to ask him to move in your life. So that's kind of where I was. I started getting to my word, my Bible app. I've read a couple of different devotionals, like one about trusting God and like financial stress and strain. Some about dangerous prayers and different things like that. Different devotionals I read within my Bible app. I wasn't using my physical devotion. I was using my Bible app at this time. And I have one thing. Okay. So in my devotional, I did write this that I found in my devotional, and it's this little letter here that says, you know, take it to God. So it's from one of the prompts of my devotional, where they ask us to, you know, whatever burdens or issues you have, take it to God. And I actually dated it for 3/21/2023. So it says, take it to God. What expectations and finances are placed on you? Number them. So of course, rent, water, credit card debts, internet, car note, car insurance, you got taxes, medical bills, student loan debts, gas, groceries, the loan I just took out, like all of that stuff I listed on this list. And then it was like, what burdens are most heavy right now? I'm just gonna skim it. So, you know, I said one of my heaviest burdens is my financial situation. I don't have enough income to pay all my bills and expenses. I'm unable to dig myself out of the hole that seems to only get deeper. I am not strong enough to push this massive boulder uphill, and I fear it will soon overtake me. Another burden is that I'm not happy with my job. It's overwhelming. Although I am thankful for it, I don't want to do it anymore, but I can't afford to quit without other income that's more than what I make now. And then I started getting into some other stuff in there. It's just like, I just want to be happy, financially stable, able to save, healthy. I listed some couple other things in there, and it's just like, this was dated March 21st, 2023, and I've left this in my devotional. So that's kind of some of the stuff that I was going through. That's kind of how I was feeling at that time. And again, that's back when I was starting to get back into it. So I started getting back into my online service through a church in Virginia, a guy that I know that used to teach the student worship at a college, at my old college. So I started watching him online and doing his church services every Sunday, because I wasn't working on the weekends until I could find a church home here in Texas. So I started praying again, trying to get into my word, reading my devotional every day. And then I would pray and ask God for consistency. Consistency is something that I struggle with so bad. Consistency and letting go. I asked him for consistency so that I can praise him not only when things are good, but when things are bad. Because like I said, I have a tendency, when things are good, that's when I fall off. That's when I backslide. Because it's like, oh, life is good. And it's like, you can't forget God or turn your back on God just because stuff are great. Did you forget that he gave you that? So it's like, I asked for consistency in that. And then I also asked for, you know, peace, discernment, deliverance, all of these things I asked for in like early April, like right around Easter. It's Easter in April? Yeah, right around Easter, I want to say, probably like early April. And then I started doing a Bible plan in the Bible app, the Bible chronological, so reading the Bible cover to cover. I started that, so I was also asking for consistency with that. Like, I want to read my Bible cover to cover. I want to know my word. So I've been doing that at this time, and trying to work on opening myself and actually having conversations with God, and not reciting rehearsed prayers, not just speaking just to speak, just to pray, praying things just to say I prayed for the day, but actually having a conversation with God, actually spending time yielding myself to God, opening myself to God, to sit there and see how I felt and how, if he speak, hear him speak to me and show me. And then, at the end of April, I actually got confirmation in multiple ways that I am free. So the church service that I attend virtually, his sermon at the end of April was, you are free from whatever burden, from whatever stressor, from whatever worry, anxiety, whatever it is, you are free from it. And I had also been wanting to rededicate myself to God, but online you can probably message them and say, hey, I really want to rededicate myself, but I kind of just, and in the online service they would cut it off before they gave you the opportunity just to give people privacy. But on this particular day at the end of April, when he also gave us confirmation that we are free, he kept the cameras on and he was like, we're gonna have everyone, if you're willing, rededicate yourself to God. So we went through the prayer or the saying, when you rededicate yourself and accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior. We did that and I just felt so good. I was like, Lord, I needed that. That makes me feel great. I'm going to take these signs of confirmation that I am free and that I'm not going to worry about anything. So around this time, I was gearing myself up to ask my job for a raise, because they did pay me and my coworkers towards the lower end of the spectrum for this position, but it's because we were all external hires. But based on the qualifications and the education requirements and experiences that they needed and they wanted for this position, I should have been paid more. Me and a couple other people should have been paid more. So I took it, got myself this nice little thing, written up, sent a message to my manager, asked for a meeting, met with my manager, went through the whole spill, told her how I felt like I deserved a raise. And around this time she was like, well, okay, well, bonuses are coming up, but I was told that bonuses wasn't going to be more than $100, $200 on average. And I was like, well, that's not enough, because in my mind I'm thinking, come May, I need $500 extra, and I need $500 to be reoccurring each and every month. So this one-time bonus is not going to be enough money for me for the next few months, not even for next month. So she was like, well, I'll see what I can do, but I don't know if it's going to really be in the cards, because you've only been here for 6 months at the time. And I understood where she was coming from, and I understood all of that, and it was just like, but it's not enough for me. At this time, I'm trying to look for other positions, but applying, me and my coworkers, all of us, the ones that started together, literally in a group chat, sending each other positions, trying to help each other find other employment. Other people's left and doing this and doing that. We looking at their jobs that they're going into. It's just, we all are trying to get out of there at this point, because it was so bad, it was so overwhelming. So yeah, so that was kind of in April. I got that confirmation. And then after I had asked my boss for the raise, she came back to me the next week and was like, it's a no. They said no, but within the next week I should be able to tell you what your bonus is going to be for this quarter, which hopefully will give you what you need for at least right now. And I was like, okay, well, thank you for considering and speaking to them, and I'll wait to hear back from you. So early May comes. She in church and serving online, the pastor, he went into everything. He was like, some of you out there are looking to your bosses and your employers and these people around you for a raise, for a promotion. You're going to the wrong person, the wrong place for a promotion. You need to ask God for a promotion, not your job, not your manager, not your boss. And I was like, God, not you came for me like that, live, in person, into my face. I said, oh, okay, God, you're right. I need to ask you for a promotion. I need to ask you. I'm already waiting. I'm patiently. I'm constantly praying, and in my devotional, reading my word. I'm trusting you to do this, so I know that you can give me the promotion. I should never have asked my boss for the promotion. I should have asked you for it. So that's what I'm thinking. So literally the next week, my boss comes back and she's like, hey, this is what your bonus is going to be. And I was like, oh, wow. Wow, my bonus was almost $600. Mind you, the max that I should have gotten as a bonus was like $350. $350 was the max I should have gotten. But she said, but because you're one of my top performers and because you are, you know, all of this and all of that, I was able to get you more than what you needed. And we also had a little bit of extra budget, so I recommended you to get a little bit extra on top of, you know, already being the top. So I got like, I think like 150%, if not almost 200% of the bonus that I should have gotten. Like I almost got double my max bonus. Like again, I almost got $600. I was like, whoa. And I was talking to my coworkers about it. It was like, whoa, we didn't get, like, I got this, I got that. And I was like, she did tell me it was because I'm a top performer and she da-da-da-da. But I also told them, I said, I think it's because I asked for a raise. And when she told me no, I told her I was gonna start looking at other places because it wasn't enough income. It wasn't enough money with inflation and what everything was going on in the world. And I said, I think that's probably why she tried to like boof it and give me a little bit extra, which I was not gonna complain about. I was thankful. I was so thankful. So I was able, with that bonus check, I was able to have the money I needed for May. I remember I needed an extra $500 for May. I was able to have that money for May. Why a week later, I get a call from my old boss, the one that was the pharmacy back in Virginia that I had left with the intention of getting another job that was gonna let me move to Texas. The one that he didn't want me to leave. I mentioned them in my prior life update video. I got a call from him accidentally. He was trying to call another girl there that has the same name. But he called me and said, he was like, how are you? You know, how's everything going? He was like, well, I'm working on some things, and if I could find a remote position for you, would you be interested in coming back? And I was like, absolutely. And he was like, well, what, as far as income, what are you looking for, like hourly? And I was like, well, I'm looking for this, saying more than what I'm making now, currently, like at the other job. And he was like, oh, that's doable. We can do that for you. Let me talk to some people, let me get approvals, and then I'll let you know what I find out. And hopefully we can get you to come back. And I was like, hopefully, I would love to come back. Let me know. So that happened that week. Why the next week? And I was so happy, so excited. Like I was so thankful. Like, okay, God, like I would love to go back to them. I do miss them. I love the people. I love the coworkers. The job is not too crazy bad. It was a little stressful, a little overwhelming, but it's not crazy bad. Why the week after that, last week of May, I get a phone call for another interview. I get a phone call for another interview for a job I applied for in October, November. I applied to this job. I never heard anything back, never gotten a confirmation that I applied, never gotten an email saying you did not get it, never gotten an email from a recruiter, didn't have any way to contact them to check on the status of my application. This is the job that I was interested in back in Virginia, but I didn't think I had the qualifications for. I didn't think I was going to be able to get into it. So I applied when I got here because I was excited about it. Really excited about the opportunity, but again, I didn't think I was qualified all the way for it. I got a call at the end of May, y'all, for an interview. I was like, I completely forgot that I applied to this job, and for you to spin the block on me here like 6 months later means it's my position. It means it's gonna happen. It means it's for me, because God won't dangle this position in my face for it to not be for me. I knew that. So that happened at the end of May, and I'm like, well, whichever job gets back to me first, whichever job is paying more, because right now a lot of my burdens are financial. My mental health was complete 360, y'all. God had given me so much peace in April. And like I said, at the end of March, early April, I had prayed and asked for peace. When they say that God's peace is beyond understanding, unexplainable, like that peace that I gotten over the situation, like I wasn't even worried about bills. I wasn't worried about how I was gonna get the $500 for May. I wasn't worried about how I was gonna get the $500 for June. I wasn't worried about none of that. I said, I'm not even gonna stress about it. I'm just gonna do my budget the way I normally do. Allot the money to go to where it can go, and whatever's left over, whatever bills that I don't have the money for, God's gonna make a way for me to get it. And each month he did. So the bonus he handled in the month of May, and then come June, I'm like, all right, well, I need something for the month of June. I need like extra money, extra income somewhere. I need to get this $500 for the month of June. I did my interview for the position that I applied for in October. I did the interview for them. I did the interview with the panel, and then after I did the interview with the hiring manager, interview went great. I felt like I did well. I asked them if they had hesitations. I saw an Instagram video or a TikTok, and it was like, once you do an application, once you do an interview, you need to ask them in the interview, so are there any hesitations? Do you have any concerns about, you know, me or my experience and my ability to do the job? They all said no, we think you'd be a great fit. Hiring manager told me, the hiring manager was the second interview. I was supposed to do him first, but they kind of flipped my interview schedule and they did it backwards. He said, honestly, there's no hesitations on my end. They'll be crazy not to hire you. And I was like, okay, God, go ahead, beef my head up, blow my head up. That makes me feel amazing. Let me see, let me make sure I missed nothing. But the interview that I did, when they called me for the interview, they told me it was going to be a part-time position, and I applied for part-time. But when I did the interview with the panel, they said, well, we have a full-time and a part-time. Which one are you more interested in? I was like, full-time. Full-time. I need full-time. I need to get out of the job that I'm in now, and if I do part-time, I don't see where I'm going to fit you in my schedule, to be honest. Full-time is what I need. So I did the interview, and it was like, okay, well, we'll let you know in the next by the 3rd week of June, something like that. You'll know, you know, if you got it or not, because we're looking to have the person start like mid-July, like July 10th or something like that. And I was like, okay, that sounds great. So we're in June 2023. I haven't told nobody but my mom about the interview. Keeping it all under wraps, just keeping it with the Lord, trusting that he's going to provide a way, make a way, and the job is going to be mine. I hadn't heard back from my prior boss, hadn't heard anything from him, so I'm like, well, it's okay, because I'm more interested in doing this position anyway. End of June come, and I'm like, 3rd week of June come, and I'm like, I still haven't heard anything back. I emailed the hiring manager. I'm like, hey, I haven't heard anything. I didn't have the hiring manager email. I only had the receptionist email that set up my email, because she was helping out that day for HR. And she was like, I'll forward your email over to the hiring manager, and hopefully he'll be able to get back with you. And I'm in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, the position starts in 2 weeks, and I haven't heard anything back. If I'm supposed to give my current job a 2 weeks notice, it's impossible now, because here we are on June 26th, June 29th. I'm looking at the calendar. Yeah, I'm like, here we are on June 26th, which would have been technically 2 weeks. I'm like, here we are on June 26th, and I still don't know if I got a position or not. Like, I don't know if anything. And I'm like, if I'm leaving my current job, I need to put in all my PTO, because my current job is not gonna pay out my PTO, because I'm not even a year in the position yet. So I just was like, you know what? I'm going to trust God that they're going to give me the position, because he's already given me so many signs of confirmation. He brought a position back that I didn't think was possible for me. I didn't think I was qualified enough for it. He bought a position that I applied way back last year, 2022, October, November. He brought it back 6 months later. They told me they have no hesitations. The hiring manager said that they would be crazy not to hire me. All of these things are confirmation to me. So I'm like, this is my position. I know I got it. So I'm going to move accordingly. I'm going to put in all of my PTO at my current job. I put all my PTO in. I said, because my last day will be July 5th. It'll be right after the holiday. I'll do the holiday, get the holiday pay, and then I'll do July 5th. And then I'll take those next like 2-4 days as like a break between the 2 jobs. But July 5th is gonna be my last day. I didn't put in my notice, but I moved accordingly by putting in all my PTO, so that way I didn't have to work full days my last like week. Here comes July 28th, hiring manager. On that day, I think my internet went out. So I was working at my job, current job, internet went out. I'm like, internet, phone signal went out, like the phone towers, like no internet, no phone, no none of that. I went to the leasing office. It's the whole neighborhood, it's the whole complex. Like, it's not even just our complex, it's outside of us. I'm like, okay. So I sat at home for a little bit, sat in the leasing office for a little bit, and then I was like, let me go to Whataburger and see if maybe they got internet, and also just grab some lunch. Drive to Whataburger, I get a voicemail, like my phone dings for voicemail. I'm like, oh, I see it's the hiring manager telling me we want to offer you the position. So I literally sitting in the parking lot of Whataburger crying, praising God. I called him back. I left a voicemail because he didn't answer. And I'm like, I need to sit here until he called me back because I'm not gonna have internet when I go home. I'm not gonna have signal when I go home to get his call. So he called me. He was like, hey, we want to offer you the position. We want to offer you the position full time. And I'm still working on your offer letter, trying to see what we want to offer you. And then I'll hopefully have that to you by the end of the week. What do you say? And I'm like, I accept. I accept. He's like, perfect. Well, I'll fix the offer letter, get everything situated for you. And I'll send it to you by Friday. That way you can get it into us. Friday would have been June 30th, y'all. My last day is supposed to be July 5th. That's 5 days. I was like, well. So after I got off the phone with him, Thursday the 29th, I was like trying to wait for my offer letter before I put in my notice at my job. Just because I always want to have that last little step of confirmation. Like, I've already got so much confirmation, but anything could happen. And I was like, I hate to say I'm leaving and then they rescind the position for whatever reason. And then now, you know, I'm without a job again. I can't afford to go through that again. Mentally, I can't afford to go through that again. But on the 29th, he sent me my offer letter. We talked about the offer, where he was offering me and the benefits and the hours and everything. Everything went well. Signed it, sent it back, and then right after I signed it, what's so funny is, on the 29th, I was working, or on the 30th, I was working that Friday of June. I was like, I didn't get my offer letter yet. If I don't get it by the time I go on my lunch break, I'm gonna call him or I'm gonna email him. On the 30th, I was like, if I don't get my offer letter by the time I go on my lunch break, I'm gonna email them or call him and see what's going on. Where is it I need it so I can put my 2 weeks notice in. I was gonna tell him I was waiting, but just say, you know, hey. And I ended up going on break late, and I was like, Lord, let me get this email so I don't have to call him and ask him where it's at. I go on break, I start making my lunch, and then I was like, oh, let me check my email. Offer letters in my email. I was like, ooh. Signed the offer letter, sent it back. As soon as I came back from break, emailed my boss, hey, we need to meet. Told her, she was like, I'm sorry to see you go. I'm happy that you found something. I know you did tell me that you would be searching. And I'm happy that you were able to find something. I'm happy you sound excited about it, and I wish you the best of luck. So that went great. That went well. Finished up there. Started the new position that I am currently in now. And y'all, it's a position that I love. Like, I love what I do. I have always wanted, hoped, dreamed, prayed, asked that I would find a position that I can do, that I love, that I find joy in, that I'm proud of, that pays me well. And I found it. I love everything about my job. I love the hours. I love the people. I love the pay. The pay could always be more, but I love the pay. I love what I do. It's great. I'm doing well in the position. I'm still in it now. I'm doing well in there. I'm thriving. It's just exciting, and I'm happy. I'm truly happy. And I didn't think, you know, you always hope and find that you find a job that you love and you enjoy, and that you don't, you know, it feels like work, but it doesn't feel like work. And I found that, and it's just like, I didn't think that this was possible. I know I hoped for it, I know I asked for it, but for it to come so soon, it's just crazy. Like, 9 months ago, I was stressed out, I was struggling, I was depressed, I was going through so much, and here I am today. Complete 360 mentally, complete 360 in my faith, complete 360 in my financial status, and my feelings about my job. Like I was saying, like, I hated my job at the time. I didn't like it. I didn't want to do it. And now I love my job. Complete 360 in my apartment. Like, my apartment, I love. I'm so proud of it. I just always hoped and dreamed that I would have a place like this. Like, when I first moved into my apartment, I had a little bit of an imposter syndrome. Like, I was feeling like, okay, so I'm staying in someone else's place. This doesn't feel like it's my home. Like, I feel like I'm not supposed to be here or something. I don't know. It's just weird because it's just so nice. I was like, I love it. Like, I have always hoped and dreamed and prayed for an apartment like this. Like, when I first moved to Texas, I wanted to have an apartment like this. But to actually be there, like, this apartment has everything on my checklist. Everything I could ever ask for, this apartment has. And it's just like, to be here in this moment where I'm able to pay my bills. I'm still digging myself out of the hole, but I'm digging myself out of the hole. I'm making positive tracks. I have extra money after my bills are paid each month. I was able to put bills on auto pay. Auto pay. Auto pay has been a dream for me and to my friends to say, you know, I put all my bills on auto pay. I don't even worry about them coming out there in a bill account. I have some bills like that. I am working and gearing myself towards that, like, financial freedom, where it's like I can pay my bills and still save and still spend money here and there to treat myself and still like give to other people to be a blessing. Like, to have my friends or family to say, hey, can I borrow so say, yeah, you can borrow it. But to say you can have it feels 1,000 times more. Like, that brings me joy when somebody say, can I borrow it? And I'm like, no, you can have it, because if you had to ask to borrow it, that means you didn't have it. So I want you to have it. You don't have to give it back. But yeah, like, just to be where I am now, it's so good. Let me see what else I got. And then just where I am in my faith, just every time I think back on the goodness of God, like, literally anything that I've asked God in the last 9 months, I would say since, like, anything I've asked God since like April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, anything I asked God for in the last 8 months, he has given it to me. Besides winning the lottery, you know, the billions of dollars that's different. Anything outside of that I've asked God for, he's given me. I actually met some of my coworkers and exchanged numbers. Some of my neighbors, and exchanged numbers with some of my neighbors, and you know, that was nice. That was fun. I even met a girl online, and I'm talking to her, and we have great conversation, genuine conversation. It flows naturally. Friendship is developing. We're actually about to meet in person for the first time. We've been talking for like almost a month now, and it's just like, I've asked for friends, I've asked for a place, I've asked for a job, I've asked for consistency in my faith, I've asked to be encouragement for others. Like, I got a beautiful comment the other day on one of my videos that somebody felt they were going through the same situation that I was going through, and seeing my videos was the encouragement that they needed, like, to know that, okay, God is still, he's still here, he's still working. And that just made me feel so good. Like, I was literally, my eyes was watery. I was about to shed some tears. I was like, this right here is amazing. This right here is beautiful. This right here makes me feel good, because I've been trying to encourage my friends, like, hey, get back into your Bible, read your word, sharing my testimony with them. Say with my family, hey, read your Bible, you talk to the Lord today. You should do, you know, trying to encourage them. When I hear that they're reading the Bible, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Like, what did you think of this book? What did you think of that book? Y'all, I am on day, because consistency is my struggle. Consistency is my struggle. I am in the book of Jeremiah. I'm almost done with the book of Jeremiah. I am on day 229. 229 days consistently reading my Bible every morning, and then praying right after it. Open myself, not a rehearsed prayer, but actually sitting down and taking time and pray and talk to the Lord and tell him how thankful I am about everything, and just to reflect on all the goodness that he's given me. He's given me so much confirmation that, you know, my season of abundance, that the blessings will overflow like rain. Like, you can't tell me that I'm not God's favorite. Like, I am his favorite. I am blessed and highly favored. Like, and even when it comes to my faith, like, I had this full circle moment this morning. I used to look back on like high school me that was deep in my word, deep in my faith. I used to look back on her and some of her experiences and be like, I wish I had faith like that. But then in other ways, I felt like God had showed me, like, your faith doesn't look the same, because that was the old you. You've grown, you developed. Your faith is stronger than it was then, even though you might not be able to see it. But today I had some of the experiences that I had back then, today, this morning, and the way I handled them, it was like, you handled them with ease. Like, that's not even a problem. That's not even, you know, you feel like the enemy's about to attack. And also yesterday, which was Sunday, the prayer, the devotional, the sermon that I listened to, he was like, the enemy, once he see you doing good, once he sees you thriving, once he see you trusting in the Lord and giving God your all, that's when he wants to attack you. That's when he wants to come for you. So we want to let the enemy know that we finna fight, we finna throw hands, we finna jump. I was like, yeah, let's double bank him. Like, let me get the Timbs. Let's do it. And then for the enemy to try me last night, this morning, it was just like, see you, but you will not succeed, because the battle is not mine, it's the Lord's. And he's gonna win every single time. I have to have no worries, no insecurities, no any of that, because God is God and he's gonna do it every single time. But I felt like I rambled. I felt like I was all over the place. I felt like I was reading my notes. I wasn't in my notes. I hope that you got what, you know, you truly understand, you know, my life updates. I probably went into too deep of detail for some stuff, shared a little too much some stuff. But I just wanted to be vulnerable. I wanted to be transparent. I wanted to let you know where I am. And then also, y'all, I don't know if you've noticed, but the Lord has been prospering me as well in my YouTube. Like, I started posting on YouTube again consistently 2 weeks ago. Like 2 weeks ago. When I tell you the outpour of love that I've gotten on YouTube has been amazing as well. Like, I'm hitting numbers and charts in my YouTube that I hoped that I would get. But the fact that I'm actually here now is just beautiful and amazing, and I can't believe it. Every time I think about the goodness of the Lord, y'all, I be awestruck. Like, the outpour of love that I've gotten in just 2 weeks is crazy. The connections and the I just don't even know how to, like, subscribers more than doubled, views times 400% of what they used to be like. And I'm gonna make a video. I'm gonna do a separate video about that in a few months. I'm actually recording certain stages of that about my YouTube journey as well. Because I got some big things that I'm planning in March that I'm asking God for. And again, anything I've asked for, he's given me. Because once you give God consistency, he gives you favor. Once you put your love and your trust in your all into him, he pours out his spirit onto you. So I hope y'all see his light inside of me. I pray that every morning, like, let them hear your words, not my words, and let them see your light inside of me. So I pray that you see his light shining upon me. I pray you see his favor shining upon me. And I pray that, you know, I hope that you subscribe to the channel. I hope you love my content, what I post, that you love this life update, that you find encouragement in it, that I was able to kind of encourage you, or if you've been through something similar, or if you were on the other side of that, or if you were like in a low spot. Reach out, comment, subscribe, like, whatever. Like, I'm here for you. I can give you encouragement if you want. I don't want to do too much on YouTube, but yeah, I'm here in any way. I hope you love this video. I hope you understand just kind of why I feel so happy. I can truly say that this is the happiest I've ever been in my life. In my entire life, happiest I've ever been. And I love that for me. So I hope to see you guys in my next video. Next video is soon to come. I know I say I post once a week on Sundays, but I don't know if you noticed, I've been posting twice a week, Sundays and Mondays, Sundays and Thursdays. But Thanksgiving, we'll throw it off. I didn't have a video post this Sunday after Thanksgiving, but I will have one post this Thursday. Which may or may not be this wig review. If you like the wig I'm wearing, if you like the way it look, how I put it on, you want to know the information, the details, the specs, be sure to check out that video. I'll also link it up above if it's out, if the video look good, I'll put it up there. But I can't wait to see you guys in my next one. I feel like I may need to re-record this because I feel like I was all over the place. I feel like I might have said a little too much details. I don't know. I just hope you get what you need to get from it. Encouragement, genuineness. Don't let my speech impediment rub off on you, but yeah. I'll see you guys in my next one. I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving, and